Anyway.
Wario's Adventure! Don't let me crash into anything! There's treasure at the end of all this, and I want it! Use your head and avoid stuff! And it does not give you any controls here.
Because there's too many.
Gotta use your head. You know,
Dodge.
the first section, you just dodge, you've gotta jump and duck. This is like the City Skater thing from Jimmy's set. Second stage, you've got to avoid these arrows by moving left and right. Third stage, you've got to avoid both the walls and the arrows at the same time. Then you need to jump to grab this jetpack. If you don't grab the jetpack, you'll run into a wall at the end. Then you have these things that you need to smash, these little red orbs, and you need to press A to dash up where at the time to hit them. Then you're moving left and right to grab these batteries. You need to grab all of the batteries, because if you miss any batteries, you're not going to go fast enough to smash through that wall. Then there's this treasure, and there's a big square thing guarding the treasure. So you need to throw your boomerang at it. Press A to throw the boomerang, moving left and right, to avoid getting crushed by the square and defeat the boomerang. And then you get the treasure out of the treasure chest. And then, of course, you grab the treasure from the treasure chest, and the world starts falling apart, and it triggers the big boulder trap. And so then you need to run, dummy. And all you need to do in this section is push A whenever he stops moving. So you can basically just mash A, and it'll be fine. And you do that enough times, and then he gets out, and then he's got the treasure, and that's success. That's Wario's Adventure that he made as a game. That was the level 1 version. Level 2, levels 2 and 3, they're basically the same, just each section is a little bit longer and maybe a little more complex. Like, at level 2, you may have seen those, the things you needed to jump over in that section, they're taller. So, you know, it means the jump timing is a little more precise. Also, there's, during that second block where there's the arrows as well as the ducking, you need to do more of that at the same time. There's 3 of these orbs instead of 2.
They're further away.
The batteries can move now, so it's it can be a little harder too. Like, they'll wave back and forth. The square guy, I think he has an extra health, and also he is faster, so he's harder to hit.
Probably has more attacks.
Yeah, it is very important to realize that you can bounce the boomerang off of the walls, because otherwise being able to hit the square man is very difficult. Like, if you're not bouncing off the walls, you can really only hit him when he comes down to smash. And then, naturally, this last section is longer. There's a longer corridor that you need to dash through. Level 3, it's basically the same thing, just it's a continued increase of number of obstacles. So, this, as far as the boss stages go, this one I found pretty easy, but it could be very difficult if you don't have an intuitive sense for what controls it expects from you. Because, you know, again, like, the biggest point of difficulty in clearing this is learning what you need to do, what you need to press in order to move, what it expects.
It doesn't tell you anything.
It does not tell you the controls, it just gives you this vague instruction, and you need to just use your understanding of video games, and of the microgames thus far, to just kind of know what you need to do. And, I mean, it helps that your only controls are D-pad and A. But, like, especially the last 2 sections, figuring out how to hit the square can be difficult. It took me a couple of attempts before I even noticed that you can bounce the boomerang off the side. So, and then, like, on the higher difficulty, the square is very fast. So it can be very difficult to dodge. And in the last section, it's very obtuse, the fact that you need to press A to run. Like, you might expect you need to push right to run away to the right, but it requires you to push A, so it's a little awkward. But again, once you've understood what the controls are, I think it's not that difficult. The section with the batteries can get really hard, with especially in the higher levels when the batteries wave back and forth.
And everything's going really fast.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's this game. Like with all the boss stages, you only need to get 5 clears, so you never actually need to win on level 3. But, so that's this.
We have so much more history that we haven't covered.
Yeah, I guess we can just kind of skim over it. So, Wario brings more sports over from, he starts working with Jimmy T to bring sports from Earth. He brings over golf and tennis. Yep. They're very successful. When he's bringing over tennis, he meets this guy who, just an Earth businessman who happens to look like an evil version of Luigi to Wario. Wario thinks he just looks like an evil Luigi, so he starts calling him Waluigi. And they start a business partnership, but Waluigi's kind of an asshole, and his favorite pastime is apparently betrayal. So he tries to have Wario killed by sabotaging his airplane, so that the next time he goes off on an expedition, he crashes out in the middle of the woods, where he finds a music box, and it's a magic music box that pulls him into the magic music box world, where he has to fight an evil clown god. But he gets a lot of treasures doing that, and also meets a mad scientist, or like an archaeology professor who goes by Mad Scienstein. And then they come back and they do the tennis, and then when they get back to Diamond City with the professor, he starts spreading more information about this great explorer and treasure hunter who he met. And that is when some of the other people there, like Mona, hear about him, and Mona seeks him out to start, joining him on his treasure hunts. And they're doing all sorts of adventures. There's some more parties that Mario throws.
Dr. Krygor gets involved around this time, I think.
And then there's a commercial that Wario gets kind of tricked into doing for Mega Vitamins. I'm not entirely sure what he thought he was doing, but it ended up being a commercial for Mega Vitamins, and he either sold Mad Scienstein's likeness or just convinced Mad Scienstein to also get involved. Or maybe Mad Scienstein convinced him to get involved. I'm not sure. But they also sort of sold parts of the story of the Music Box world there, because they had someone playing the evil clown god.
Right, where did he show up again?
It was someone playing the evil clown god. It wasn't the real evil clown god. Anyway, there's another round of Grand Prix kart races that he competes in and has the thing. Then Mad Scienstein, whose real name is Professor Ariwo Shitain, finds the ancient golden pyramid of Princess Shakora.
Right.
But it's full of monsters, so his team of archaeologists gets chased out. Wario reads about this in the news. He goes off to explore the pyramid himself. He fights off all of the monsters, which are ghosts, and, exorcises the entire pyramid and collects a bunch of treasure and saves the spirit of the princess and allows her to ascend to heaven. But also he gets a whole bunch of treasure out of it. And this allows him to pick up a bunch of additional real estate holdings around Diamond City, and he gets his own rocket ship, and he gets all these shops, and he's like a big time wealthy celebrity now in Diamond City. Everybody knows him, and this is probably the time when he starts really becoming a important man in the city.
Right.
And
then he had a birthday party.
Yeah, then there was this birthday party, this Omni birthday party held by the Cosmic Party Cube.
Which is fair, because I don't think Wario has a birthday.
Yeah, Wario wasn't born. So, but they gave him a birthday anyway. But then he gets contracted by the Mushroom Kingdom to do food production so that they can feed Yoshis during the Yoshi mating season and protect the citizens from being harassed by angry running Yoshis.
Yep.
So he builds a cake factory. He expands on his existing cake factory that he had out in the middle of a field, puts it inside a building, and also he builds a cookie factory, both of which immediately get attacked.
Yes.
And as a result, they both get damaged and wrecked, and so he sues the Mushroom Kingdom for the damages because they failed to protect his business interests in their kingdom. And so they end up giving him a whole bunch of money for that.
Yeah.
There's some other weird things that happened during there. Bowser was throwing paint balloons at people, and it was weird.
His factory got haunted.
Yes, his factory was haunted. That was one of the attacks that I mentioned.
Yeah.
And then it's this, where he's in Diamond City and he realizes that video games are a business that he can do, and he gets success in there. And here we have completely cleared the grid. We've gotten the goal on all of them, and we finally unlocked the last thing here, Pyoto 2.
What?
So, next time, we're going to be...
Pyoto 1?
We have Pyoto 1. It's the one just below this. We haven't
Oh.
seen it yet because I haven't touched any of the bonus games yet. That's what's happening tomorrow. We're going to go through all of the bonus things that you see on the main menu here. Starting tomorrow. Some of them are pretty cool, I think.
Oh.
So, that's it. We're finally through the grid.
You did it.
Yay.
I can't help but notice there's 2 blank spaces.
Don't worry. They're quick. You'll see those tomorrow. You'll see those tomorrow. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
So, yeah,
you
thanks
then.
for joining. If you enjoyed, like, subscribe, tell your friends. Tune in tomorrow for bonus games.
Bonus!
See ya!
It's mandatory!